You're about to witness a truly fantastic game. Dommaraju Gukesh defeated Magnus Carlsen today in a convincing and decisive way. This game was played at the SuperUnited Croatia Rapid and Blitz 2025, and it's truly a game not to be missed. Without further ado, let's dive into the game. Carlsen has the white pieces and Gukesh the black. The game starts with c4, English opening, e5, knight c3, bishop b4, the Kramnik-Shirov Counterattack, a very interesting and popular variation of the English opening, knight f3. Here, more common to play is knight d5, attacking the invading bishop and preventing doubled pawns on the c-file. Let's get back to the game. As I said, knight f3 was played by Carlsen. Gukesh bishop takes c3. D takes c3, opening up the diagonal for the development of the queen's bishop. d6, e4, knight d7, bishop d3, knight c5, bishop c2, knight f6, queen e2, pawn to a5. An interesting positional battle lies ahead. White has the pair of bishops, a long-term strategic advantage that is highly valued by the greatest chess players in history, especially the trio usually placed at the top, in one order or another: Fischer, Kasparov, and Carlsen. Black, in turn, has a good pawn structure and an excellent knight on c5. They should keep an eye on possible breaks on f5 or b5. It's also always worth considering the move a4, gaining space on the queen side and leaving the knight secure on c5, without having to worry about b4. A quick note, don't forget to support this video with a like and a comment. That helps the channel a lot, because it makes the algorithm recommend these videos to more and more people. Thanks so much for your support. The game continues with knight d2, preparing to maneuver the knight to f1 and e3. g6, a move that seems mysterious, but has the idea of preparing the maneuver knight h4 and knight f4. Knight f1, bishop e6, bishop g5. Carlsen decides to develop the bishop before trying f3 and knight e3. h6, bishop h4. g5, bishop g3, queen d7. f3, consolidating the pawn center and clearing the f2 square for the bishop to retreat in case it comes under attack. Knight h5, knight e3, knight f4, queen d2, b5. Excellent move. Black needs to create counterplay. Knight d5. This threatens knight to f6 check, winning the black queen. So bishop takes d5, breaking the horse's legs. C takes d5. Carlsen has managed to repair his once ruined pawn structure. Knight h5. A dubious move. The knight was well placed on f4. On top of that, it gives Carlsen a free tempo to place his bishop on a better square. Better was king e7, connecting the rooks. Besides, there's no risk with the king on e7 since the center of the board is blocked. Therefore, the king is safe. Let's return to the game. As I mentioned, knight h5 was played by Gukesh. Carlsen bishop f2. We have a battle between bishops and knights. The bishops are clearly superior. Although the position is still closed, there's possible play on both flanks, favoring long-range pieces. King f8. Another inaccuracy from Gukesh. There's no need to lose two tempos to safeguard the king. I say this because the world champion's plan to bring the king to g7 is clear. It would have been better to spend just one tempo by playing king e7. And as I said before, the king on e7 is not in danger thanks to the center of the board being blocked. Back to the real game. As I said, king f8 was played by Gukesh. Carlsen g3, king g7, bishop e3, queen e7, rook g1, knight f6, b4. An inaccuracy by Carlsen. This move ends up leaving white's king without protection. Here castle queenside is stronger. After b4 and h4, we can see white's attack arrives first. Let's get back to the game. As I mentioned, b4 was played by Carlsen. Gukesh pawn takes b4. C takes b4. Knight a4. Bishop d3. c6. Good move. Black sacrifices a pawn to counterattack in the center. D takes c6. d5. Curiously, in this position, it's the side with a pair of knights that needs to open the game. The safety of the king is the most important element. E takes d5. Knight takes d5. Pawn to a3, protecting the pawn on b4. Rook hd8. Rook c1. Rook d6. Bishop takes b5. Another inaccurate move by Carlsen, who is also already running against the clock, as you can see on his clock. Instead of this, better was bishop e4, with a complex position. Let's return to the real game. As I said, bishop takes b5 was played by Carlsen. Gukesh knight dc3, attacking the bishop and the queen. Bishop c5. Excellent move. This forced move had to be foreseen. Knight takes b5. A correct move. If knight takes c5, then queen takes c3, and in case of rook takes d2. This is bad, because bishop takes e7. White is winning thanks to the pass pawn. Back to our game. As I mentioned, knight takes b5 was played by Gukesh. Carlsen bishop takes d6. Knight takes d6. The position is materially unbalanced, but both sides have equal chances, judging by the computer's assessment. It's easier, however, to play with black, especially with little time on the clock. It's hard to face these knights with the king exposed. The game continues with king f2. There are several other possible moves to maintain equality, but there's nothing wrong with this one. Knight b6. Queen d3. Queen e6. Good move, preparing to place a knight on c4. Black needs to be fast before white consolidates his position by bringing the rook on g1 into play. Rook c5. After this inaccuracy, white is in trouble. Here rook g e1 was necessary, preventing e4. Back to the real game. As I said, rook c5 was played by Carlsen. Gukesh e4. Excellent move. The white king is now in grave danger. Queen d for check. King g8, a decent move, but f6 is more accurate. After rook e1, rook takes a3, king g1, and rook takes f3. Black has a clear advantage. Let's get back to the game. As I mentioned, king g8 was played by Gukesh. Carlsen rook d1. Here, rook e1 is a better version for white, trying to face to the e4 pawn. Let's get back to the real game. As I said, rook d1 was played by white. Black plays e takes f3. Rook e5. What a mistake. Here rook c2 is the only chance, but black is winning after knight bc4 with excellent coordination of knights. Knights that can join the attack against the white king. Let's return to the real game. Rook e5 was played by Carlsen. A huge mistake. Gukesh queen h3. Another good move by the world champion. King takes f3. Knight bc4. A decent move, but rook takes a3 check clinches the game after rook e3 and rook a2, followed by queen h5 check. Okay, back to the game. As I mentioned, knight bc4 was played by Gukesh. Carlsen rook a5. Knight takes a5. B takes a5. Black has many winning lines. Gukesh's choices are good enough. Queen f5 check. King g2. Queen c2 check. King g1. Knight f5, attacking the queen. Queen d7. Knight e3, threatening mate on g2. Rook d2, attacking the queen. Queen c1 check. King f2. Knight g4 check. King e2. Knight e5, attacking the queen and the c6 pawn. Queen e7. Knight takes e6. Black has eliminated their only counterplay factor, namely the passed pawn on c6. Now Carlsen has no hope left. Queen e4. Rook takes a5. And it is right here that Magnus Carlsen resigns the game, not only because of the rook to e5 threat that would trap the white queen, but also because he is down a piece. An extraordinary victory for Gukesh. He showed fabulous time management and made Carlsen suffer under time pressure, then pressed the Norwegian until he collapsed. This is how you love to see a world champion, defeating the best players in the global elite. I hope you enjoyed the game and my analysis. Don't forget to support this video with a like and a comment. Subscribe to the channel share it with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.